He can never do any wrong. Christensen, co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost has got you covered. And today, we're trading prop firm accounts. Folks, TradersPost is one of those platforms, one of those tools that you get, and then you're just happy that you have. It's like my Dropbox. It's like my set app. I just go, hey, when I connect this together and I'm able to send my trade signals, my buy and sell signals from whatever platform I'm doing to TradersPost so that it can copy out my trades across different accounts, I'm just so happy. I just feel like I'm so much stronger.
Same. It's a superpower.
Peter's described it as the Iron Man suit, and I think that's very apropos. Because it keeps getting upgraded for that. So here, different strategies inside of my TradersPost account, and then I could go ahead and connect different brokers and different accounts, and have as many. I could have 10, 15, 20 different prop firm accounts, or a mix of different accounts, all connect together in order to trade. So that I don't have to go and each individual one choose, go into the order panel, set my order, move on to the next tab and do that again, which I've seen people do. Just have 5-6 tabs open, trying to commit the trades across all of them. So I don't have to do that. So you're gonna see us use drawings on the TradingView chart. We move that around, that have alerts tied to them so that when the price crosses them, a signal gets sent off to TradersPost and then routed to where it needs to be. Today, though, Mike, is the day after Fed Day, the September 17th Fed Day, the one of the important ones when it comes to September for a number of reasons. One, it's after the blackout period that the Fed has in the summer. And so the last major decision, or the last time we hear from the high priest of the monetary system, is a few months back in June, July. And so it's nice to see what's on the schedule for the next year coming up. So that's the first meeting in September. And then we have quarterly OPEX. And this is something that is super important because options expiry, right? These are options. People buy options for a number of reasons, but large institutional players buy options in order to hedge against the downside or participate in the upside with calls. These options expire, and they're expiring sort of at the same time. Dailies, the weeklies, the quarterlies at the same time. And you would expect that December would be the option expiry that would be the greatest, the most volatile, because you have the year-end options at the same time, but it just so happens to coincide with the holidays, and so a lot of people are not around, and these sort of things get done in the quarter before, which is September. So we're open to some potential volatility. A lot of crashes happen in September, October, a lot of them, and this is one of the reasons why. So the Fed came out yesterday and did their pronouncement. They decided they're going to cut 25 basis points. Sigh, lament, teardrop for Tom. I did bet on Polymarket that they would cut 50 basis points.
No chance.
No chance. Didn't work out. Turns out the betting markets and the futures markets were dead on, 25 basis point cut. And the Fed basically stated the idea that one of the reasons they're cutting is that the labor market is starting to show signs of weakness. We had the unemployment rate tick up from 4.2 to 4.3%, which is significant. We have the revisions to the jobs numbers from the QCW just showing that not only are there jobs, there's less jobs, or a million less jobs this year than was reported originally, but that there seems to be a fundamental problem with the reporting of this data, because participation rate, because of the length of time it takes to receive the information and all that sort of thing. So that was problematic. But at the same time, they're not at their 2% inflation goal. So it's sort of like, well, if we cut interest rates, we might exacerbate inflation, but if we don't, the labor market will suffer. And this is what the Fed calls being in tension. It's very interesting because the Fed said a number of things in that presser that I wasn't expecting them, that they don't usually just flat out say.
Right.
Number one, they say, we don't know how to deal with this. I was like, wait, what? It's like, we've never been in this situation before, so we don't know how to deal with it. We can't make projections accordingly. And I'm sitting there going, I'm sorry, this is your job. You have, like, what is it, 2,000 PhDs. Your whole thing is sitting around modeling the different types of scenarios, planning accordingly, making predictions, and you're telling us, look, we've just never had this position before, and so we're sort of winging it.
Yeah, Tom, new territory.
Well, I couldn't believe they said that, because the Fed usually doesn't just cut flat out and go like, we don't know. In fact, one of the questioners said, look, you keep making 2-year predictions for where rates will be, and they're always wrong. How can you make predictions now for what rates will be in 2 years from now? You're always wrong. And Powell said, look it. He says, the exercise for the dot plots is to predict what rates will be in 2-3 years. That's what so we have to put down something. And he says flat out, no one knows what the economy will be like in 3 years. This comes out of Powell's mouth. No one knows what the economy will be like in 3 years. And so but the exercise says we have to put down our prediction. So we have to put something down. I'm like, how are you saying this? What are you talking about? You're like, well, the only reason we're putting it is that's what the homework assignment said. I gotta hand in something.
I get 5 points if I put my name on the top. Right?
Exactly. So I was like, okay, that's new. And then one of the other questions was, you're saying that there's problems with the job markets. The numbers are totally off for the employment and wages. Why do you think 25 basis points is going to do anything? And he goes, I didn't say I think 25 basis points is going to do anything. What we're seeing, though, is that the market is already pricing in future rate cuts.
That's right.
And so it's already happening, the movement in the market. He goes, we're here to provide forward guidance so that the market performs the cut. He's like, our 25 basis points doesn't do anything. It's what the market anticipates, and the market is moving as we anticipate. So great. And you're like, okay, so you're flat out saying it now. The rate cuts don't matter as much as the forward guidance.
As much as what we anticipate that the Fed will do. Correct.
That's right. Because if you made the rate cuts and the market didn't move accordingly, that'd be a fail. But if the market move accordingly and you don't do the rate cuts, then it's a success. So the market prices in 50 basis points cut, 75 basis point cut, and you only cut 25 basis points, you consider that a win.
Now, they still need to do their job in order for us to predict what they're going to do. So it's sort of a double-edged sword, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's really all about the psychology of it. Can they jawbone the market to where it needs to be? So I thought that was amazing that he said that. Flat out, just came straight out, not even any Fed speak. He just said it straight. And then the last thing was they go, look, the jobs numbers, like they were so off. We have a million less jobs, which I guess I didn't realize at the time was they were, I forget how to phrase it, but they were 51% less jobs than they reported. That 1 million is absolutely significant for the year. Just completely changes. He goes, so the questioner goes, well, had you had the right numbers back then, would you have already cut? And he goes, look, we can't drive and looking at the rear view mirror. We have to look out the front. We got to make the decision for what we have right now. And they're like, but you can't count the numbers correctly. He goes, well, we knew internally that the revised numbers were totally off. In fact, we were very surprised that our estimate by how much they were off was pretty dead on, was very close. He was very proud of this. And the implication is like, yeah, but you never told us. You never told us that the numbers were off by that. You knew the numbers were off by 51%. What are you talking about? So the questioners are sort of like, oh, okay. I don't know what truth serum that Jerome Powell drank yesterday, but I had never heard him speak so plainly about all these different things. It was quite incredible.
Yeah, definitely seemed more candid than in the past, where everything is really well scripted and he's very careful about the word choices. Hey, Aventura, good to see you, man. It's Friday Eve for you. Are you in the future?
No, it is Friday Eve or Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, Friday Eve. Yeah.
Oh, Friday Eve. Silly. I've never heard anybody call it that before, so that just tripped me out. Silly me. So I do have this report up, which I do find pretty interesting. It's been a little while since I've actually looked at this report. This is actually a ratio between the number of jobs available for every working American and the unemployment, the number of unemployed individuals. And this ratio actually got to a point after COVID where it was 2 jobs for every 1 unemployed person. And we actually had a very strong supply of jobs in the United States. That number has since mean reverted and came back to levels prior to COVID, where it was roughly around 1.2 jobs, but it's actually now less than 1. So we're at a point now where basically there's a job available for everyone who's unemployed. We just need fulfillment over those jobs. Can you tell Aventura that I'm already thinking it's Friday? I'm ready to check out because I couldn't even grasp the meaning of Friday Eve.
All right. Well, we got 2 minutes till market open.
Okay.
I'm looking at the charts here, and 2 things that are really jumping out at me. One, the dollar completely reversed yesterday. Did you see that?
Let's take a look at the price action on it. I'm going to pull up the Dixie, which is my preferred index for tracking it. I know some people track the dollar futures index, but let's take a look here. So I'm on the 2-hour chart, and it looks like we had hit a new low here after the report on the FOMC side. So we came down to 96.22 and have since rallied since then. Now, normally a rally in the dollar would mean bad news for equities, but the two are working in tandem right now.
Right. Well, we did get that pullback this morning with the continuous jobless claims and the initial jobless claims that came in as expected, but the market has seen that as potentially bad. We got a reversal of the overnight run-up. And at the very same time, something I find very interesting is, not the whole run-up over last night. We just pulled back to EVWAP. So the question is, are we going to go bullish from now?
Yeah.
And then also Bitcoin didn't move at all yesterday, which is also fascinating. But before we talk about that, let's see, are there any levels you're going to be targeting for this morning? For NASDAQ?
NQ, we only got a few seconds left here to kind of check some levels. We got the all-time high, of course, which would now serve as resistance at 762. We already wicked off of S1. I don't anticipate that we'll come back and revisit that. If we remain bullish today, I'm going to use the weekly VWAP as my support line today, so around 498. The options market is also anticipating a range between those two prices as well. So I don't think it's going to be a huge range today. I think most of the move already took place. Let's go watch what's happening with the first few candles.
I'm going to be looking for shorts, just like yesterday. The only levels, because we're in blue sky territory, the only level I could pay attention to is the lower one at 24.5 or 24.450. My conviction for getting there, not super high, but I got to target something. So I'll target mean reversion.
I do also have my automated strategies ready to roll. So I'm going to be trading one MES contract on an automated basis if it closes above VWAP. And I'm also going to trade gold if it closes above VWAP as well. Both are in bullish territory and should remain in longs. I use a filter to determine if we should be in longs or shorts on those instruments.
So I'm in a short right now. Let's see if we cross down below EVWAP.
Hey, Kazi, good to see you. 1 second.
Awesome to have you here. If you guys are in the chat, always wondering if you guys are in a trade or not. If you're ever in a trade, let us know. We'd like to know we're not alone.
So, I'm a fan of gaps. This is a 60 BIP gap. I'm going to keep an eye on that guy because that's going to be fun if we decide to fill that gap today. And if we do decide to fill the gap, that pushes us right down to 505, which is that weekly VWAP point I was just mentioning.
That's perfect. That's exactly where I want to go.
Yep. All right, second candle in. It's kind of dancing on VWAP. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I'm not ready to go any direction yet.
I'm looking to short at 24,713 and 24,738. Those would be great levels for the short end.
So you'd like to see a little bit of that gap between the all-time high and where we're at right now filled.
That's right.
Before you're ready to go short. That makes sense.
Yeah, oftentimes I find that happens at the open, that I'm able to get there.
Looking a little bullish on the 15-minute, right off of the 55 EMA.
So the big question here is, has the Fed unleashed a bull market? Because, I mean, after that, we had a drop down to your S1 yesterday, my daily level, which was around 24,300, let's call it. You were at 23,2 something. And it wicked right there, bounced right up, and it was like off to the races afterwards, which was pretty dramatic. We had to run up all night. We got to pull back right now to the EVWAP. So the question is, hey, if we bounce here and you make another all-time high today, are we in bull market territory until, let's call it, the end of the month, where we have the rebalancing? That's a big question for me. Or are we about to give up the ghost and fall down? So for the idea here that the dollar keeps rising is nerve-wracking for me, because we did break below 96, so we could just be retesting that before we fall down. But I just don't understand. Well, I sort of do understand why the dollar would have rallied yesterday after what Powell was saying. So what happens is that when you have growth slowdown, there's an incentive for people to go to the dollar and to U.S. bonds in order to as a safe haven asset. So you could have this thing where, because we're in tension, like the Fed was saying, you get the dollar down because of like selling it for equities, but then you get the dollar up because other countries also are suffering a slowdown and they put money within safe haven assets. So it's one of those weird things. Michael Howell talks about this from Cross Border Capital, how the dollar is actually a very strong trade weighted dollar. More people want to have their currency in the dollar than they want it in their currency. So there's this inflow that's happening. So I don't know how the market reacts to it. Are we going to get?
I'm going to try a quick little scalpy short here, just a micro. Gold doesn't want to find support here yet, so I'm sure that's not going to take a trade.
Bitcoin is still rising. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to mention. So Bitcoin didn't move at all during the Fed. Not the Fed release, not the announcement, not the presser, no nothing.
No volatility candles, nothing.
Nothing. No wicks, no nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen that. So there was this conversation between Michael Howell and Raoul Powell talking about the dynamics of what's going on. And it seems like since the COVID lockdowns, the crash, in the same way that we entered a QE era after the global financial crisis, it looks like the business cycle got disconnected from the liquidity cycle for markets, because in the Biden administration and in the Trump administration, you have to refinance it. Before, the debt for the government was refinanced, let's say, at 5-year intervals, which coincided with the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin and the business cycle for businesses. You know, they're borrowing, and every 5 years or so they have to refinance, and you get this ebb and flow. But they started refinancing the debt at 2-year intervals because they needed the lower interest rate in order to be able to finance the debt. So that might have truncated the liquidity cycle, so that the liquidity cycle keeps ebbing and flowing way faster, which has sort of like flattened out the business cycle. Plus, with the changes in immigration and tariffs and the whole thing, we sort of have this muted employment sector. And so you might not have the business cycle that's coinciding with the liquidity cycle. Well, if Bitcoin is correlated to the liquidity cycle, it makes sense that it's no longer now moving based on employment information, on growth information, or anything like that. It's just moving up based on liquidity that needs to be injected every 2 years. And if that's the case, then we're done with the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin. We could just be going up now forever.
I mean, it has been this whole time, so there's that.
I mean, without the 80% pullback that we have every 1,064 days.
Well, that has waned as well. That's not as bad as it used to be. Each cycle seems to be less of a detrimental pullback than the previous. I think we're at a point now where we're averaging about 70% pullbacks instead of 98 or 95. Right. If you traded Bitcoin back in 2011, then a 98% pullback is something you're used to.
Right. Yeah, you're right. The last pullback, I think it was 77%.
Sounds right.
So I find that fascinating because I was expecting October to be a top for Bitcoin. And if these cycles are off, then it might actually be March that's the top for Bitcoin, which means I have to recalibrate my whole thinking.
So gold is looking bearish. I guess that one's not going to run. And ES is now on its second 5-minute candle. I'm going to keep an eye on this one because if we get one more candle above VWAP here, this will probably take an automated long. I went for one 20-point scalp on a micro for NQ above VWAP here because we have a few candles above. I'm just not a fan of how much resistance there seems to be here. This feels like maybe we found the top there at 712. You said you were waiting for about 735 before you were ready to go short?
Well, one at 714, which I'm in right now, and then another one at 738.
Got it. And it looks like it's trying to pull back here off of VWAP, so I'm keeping an eye on it.
What's the bearishness you're seeing for gold?
I'm on the 5-minute chart there, and I'm watching 2 5-minute candles start to pull below VWAP here.
I see. Okay. The dollar keeps rising.
So I just took my first scalp on NQ there and won that trade. So for those following along, I'm following a new strategy here when I scalp NQ, and that is that I'm looking only for 5 points of take. It's $100. And my stop loss is set to 25 points, which effectively is a $500 stop loss. Now it might feel upside down, but the likelihood of me catching the take at 5 points is greater than me immediately touching the stop loss. If I hit my stop loss even just one time for the day, then I'm done and I walk away. Otherwise, my job now is just to find every opportunity to take a 5-point run to the downside or the upside, which is fairly easy to spot as long as I can see momentum behind the candle. So I'm going to play around with this strategy today because it did really well for me yesterday.
You guys might not know, but I regularly get messages from Mike after Price Action Live. That's like, okay, I made this much money. So way more than what he did during the stream, which is always very funny. He's like, hey, maybe I should just do this during the stream. Yeah.
I'll just do this all day long. How's this sound? So I like this here again. I'm going to go ahead and put on a micro. I'm not quite ready for another scalp just yet. Having a really hard time getting TradingView to behave though. It's taking a while for indicators to catch up.
I had to manually set my signal because my other line didn't fire. Beautiful. Look at you giving up that.
It's looking bearish. That looks like it's coming down off the all-time high.
We have a bunch of mini support levels here at 630, 620, 604. So it could be a lot of stair stepping down towards this area. But if we get through all that, I'd love to see 24,451. Although if we do see 24,451, because we're in the yellow consolidation area, we probably continue to 24,160.
Okay. These candles are actually fairly big as well.
Yeah.
I'm hitting my take profit on these tiny scalps really quickly. Where is ATR right now? We got, well, that explains it. ATR is 24.
We're getting a bounce on the last few candles in the 15. That'll give me a pullback opportunity to add more to my short, which I will be doing at, let's call it 24,663.
You're going to add to the short at 663.
If I get that pullback, yeah.
Got it. Okay, let's try it again here. So there's another test of this example I'm talking about. I put the scalp on, but got filled a little lower than I had hoped at 635. Oh, goodness, TradingView's charts are just not performing today.
Dang.
A lot of my indicators are just stuck. It's strange too, because it never feels like it's like, you can't tell when there's going to be major congestion on TradingView.
Right.
Interesting. I might take my L for the day here. Should have waited for the pullback.
Where's your stop at? Like, where would it exit you at?
657. It's right here on the screen as well. If you can look past all these weird lines. I just got to get rid of the regression tool. It's just not working. So it's a tight trade, but it's the same concept. 25 points of stop from where I entered at 635, and I'm hoping that it'll pull back and just grab one more candle lower. Not bad. This one actually might play out.
Is that one in Q?
That's one in Q.
Mm-hmm.
It's wicked right above it. So ATR is starting to fall down a little bit, which is good. That'll make it a little bit easier for me to manage this trade. It just wicked 25 cents above my exit there.
Oh, so brutal when that happens.
I hate it.
So brutal.
All right, let's go. Come on. So we had a little bit of a pullback to the 8 EMA there. That's promising for my trade. I'd like it to go just a little bit farther here, and it'll hit my take profit. Otherwise, there we go. Okay. All right, so that's trade number 2. I'm up 300 for the day now.
Jesus, Mike, you're killing it.
And I still have that micro scalp open as well.
Oh.
So no chance of going long on MES today. No chance of going long on gold today. I might actually just turn those strategies off.
Right.
So that's
wow. Dollar's back up to 97. Oh my goodness.
All right, so we're looking bearish on NQ then, yeah?
Yeah, even Bitcoin's responded to it. So, oh man, all right. So just short. It's a short day. Until noon. I separate the day into 2. Open till noon, noon to 3. 2 very different things.
Another little micro scalp. I just like to chase the candles with these guys, and that way I don't have a ton of risk on the table.
Right.
It's essentially $40 a loss, $40 a gain. Keep it equal on either side. And since it's only one micro, it's not a ton of risk against the profits that I've made so far. What I'm gonna look for next is a little bit of a pullback, some indication of consolidation again, just like we saw right here. And then I'll try to short again on NQ and just keep doing this scalping approach. The next opportunity would be the reversal. So depending on how far down we go, I'll be looking to go long on the other side and scalp in exactly the same way.
I guess if we touch the weekly VWAP, perfect area for a bounce.
Yep. That's my thought as well. We got, and that's a ways down here. 15-minute candles are looking pretty bearish. Any thoughts on the 15-minute chart?
The 15-minute chart is not near any support. It's just we have to wait till 10 to really see what the story is going to be here. I would not be surprised to get a pullback, a bounce all the way up to EVWAP.
Yep, agreed. All right, we're almost in oversold territory though on the 5-minute. It looks like the next potential zone where we're going to see an oversold signal on the 5-minute chart is about the 555 level. So I do want to keep an eye on that.
Right.
But it's the same, you know, this still isn't panic in my mind. The ATR is still relatively low and it's falling in this sell-off. That to me is a strong indication that this is just drift. You know, if I see a sell-off from VWAP and ATR is actually falling, then it's the same sort of choppy conditions that we've been seeing for some time now. I would expect ATR to rise in a real panic situation. This is just more of a technical move.
I'm surprised I haven't gotten a sell signal here on the 2-hour. Usually this is a perfect sell signal condition.
Even your indicator is as confused by Powell as we are. Are you experiencing any congestion on your side on your TradingView charts?
Yes.
Same thing, huh?
Yeah.
Tom, I think it's time we build our own platform.
I know.
I talked to, this will be fun for anybody listening for the, how many viewers do we have at the moment? We'll give you guys some inside scoop. 7. Okay.
7.
I talked to Lux Algo yesterday, and those guys are working on an incredible backtesting engine that's all AI driven, where you can basically just build your own strategy right within the chat box and give it some instructions on the parameters of the trading strategy you're looking for in stocks or futures or crypto. And unfortunately that scalp took a loss. All right, so interesting pullback here. Let's see how it responds to VWAP, and then I might put another scalp on. I got a demo of it yesterday and it was just incredible. It's probably one of the coolest uses of AI I've seen in a while. And when you ask for the back test, it comes back in the response. So it even gives you the chart, it gives you the performance, it gives you everything. So imagine building a strategy in TradingView, but never writing PineScript again. Instead, you just chat with an AI bot and it's building everything in the background for you.
What?
Yeah, and then you copy a sort of sub syntax of PineScript and you paste it into your Lux Algo script on TradingView, and it'll run that strategy for you. Like they wrote their own syntax to evaluate that syntax in their PineScript on TradingView in a Lux Algo indicator.
Right.
I've never seen anybody do that before. I thought it was incredible.
So when the signals get sent off to when the alert fires.
Oh, sorry. To clarify, you have 2 ways to send the alert. Either you send it from TradingView using their indicator, or you send it from their platform, and they're going to send the webhook directly to TradersPost. So we're working on a little bit of a collaboration there.
Let's see. Whoa! Look at that reversal.
Okay, that was unexpected. I didn't see. Wow. I didn't anticipate such a bounce off of VWAP there.
Me neither.
I'm taking my time here with these trades.
Wow, is that really to get back up there? Crazy.
Maybe. All the way to the high of the day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Session profile up.
That's a tweezer candles on the 15-minute.
Maybe I do go long on gold here today, huh?
The dollar's still rising. Is this technical? Low or high? Let me try short from here.
I've learned not to ask questions about why things are happening in markets, Tom.
Yeah, it does not help.
It does not help. I just follow the price action.
Wow.
I'm ready to
Look
walk
at
away
that.
though. This is the
Yeah.
delays here are making it really hard for me to trade quickly. All right, there we go. So this could be the point of control though, where we're bouncing off at 697. I want to see if we find some support at VWAP here now that we've closed above. MES is going for it as well. Gold is starting to rise above VWAP.
Yep, these moves happen so often in the middle of the 15-minute candle. I wonder what that means. Well, I am underwater right now. That move up was just brutal. Let's see if I can get out of this hole.
On the 15-minute, that's almost a full engulfing candle now. It's like the market's trying to say we're going to push for the all-time high again.
Yeah. Do I switch sides or do I add to my short?
Got a bit of a hammer on the 2-hour. I want to watch around point of control here now on the session volume profile, where we saw a lot of consolidation from the open. It's hard for me to decide on a long or short from here. If we see a pullback and test VWAP and bounce from VWAP, then yeah, I'll take a little bit of this. I'll do a micro. But if we close below VWAP, then I'm ready to go short in a larger scalp. That would be a rejection off of VWAP. We just closed above it a little bit.
Right. Oof.
I don't know how close it's going to get to VWAP though.
I hate not having targets to the upside. It's hard for me to make the case for it.
This is weird. I have 2 lines on my chart. What's the other one? I'm telling you. Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. Turn that off.
Oh, I'm inclined to go long. Dang.
Yeah, I can't tell. These 3 candles right here are trying to break out of this trend. And it still looks neutral. So we're finding it's still consolidating around that point of control again. All right, here's the pullback to VWAP. Yeah. I'm also watching the 8 EMA on the 1-minute chart here. And if we can find some support off of this and the next candle is green, then I'll be looking to get long here. 31 seconds left. The 15-minute chart is spelling out a rejection off of its 8 EMA.
What is happening here?
And the 2-hour chart is basically showing a close at its 8 EMA. So I got a lot of conflicting signals here. Is that bearish enough to go short?
I want to go long. I'm going long. I'm switching.
There's not enough confidence here. Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I'm going to do a little micro for it though. Okay. One micro long. Let's see if we can bounce from here and fill some of this gap between VWAP and the all-time high. It seems bullish. We've been trapped before, haven't we?
Oh my God! Look at that.
That just took a loss. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one of the NQ scalps here now for 5 points, and let's do it. Come on, I don't need much.
To the downside?
Yeah, I just needed to move 5 points and I'm done. There it is. All right, cool. So I was able to gain back the loss that I had on the micro, still at 300 for the day. And now I'm going to try this again. Dang, my fills are pretty off here. This is starting to
bounce off the
more of a story off of VWAP. Yeah, we're still closing. We've got a full candle below VWAP right now, but I need to see this close.
neutral on the 1 minute, bearish on the 5 minute, neutral on the 15 minute, bullish on the 2 hour. I hate that.
All right, so far on the NQ scalping strategy here, which I love that they let you search by your symbol. I have a 100% win rate and $390 has come just from that alone. Wow, what just happened there?
Yeah.
You see that coming?
I did have a signal on my one. I just ignored it. I don't know why I ignored it.
So it's funny. I've made 390 on the NQ scalps, and I've lost 120 on the micros at this point. So I'm doing much worse on the badly timed micros at this point. Let me see if I can fix that. I took a long on the other side of VWAP here, expecting that was just a bullish signal. And it makes me want to revise this regression trend. No, that's not it. This is just chop now.
Yep.
Yep, so this is just chop. If we can't get a trend off of VWAP here, then fortunately the only thing helping me stay profitable today is scalping.
Negative RR for the win.
Negative RR for the win. The funniest phrase I think I've heard so far in this realm. For those that are following along here, I hear the phrase negative RR. The problem is that when you say your reward to risk ratio, let's say, is 5, your profit factor is 5. I'm risking $1 for every $5 made. The two are a ratio, which usually means you're dividing the two against each other. So if I have a reward of $1 and a risk of $5, then technically my reward to risk ratio is 0.2. At no point, though, is it negative. So I'm still trying to figure out where the negative RR phrase comes from. Even still, it's a pretty fun phrase. So it's been working out for me. Maybe somebody can illuminate why people think it's negative. I guess if you subtract them, like if you take your reward minus your risk, then that would be negative.
Well, it's because they see 1-to-1 as being the 0 and moving left on the scale being negative on the timeline or the number line.
I could see that. I'm trying to get on board. I'm on board with the strategy, I'll tell you that much.
Call it what you will.
Okay, I like the bullish move there. Are we going to hit a new high here for the session?
Oh,
you're killing me, TradingView. This is almost untradeable now.
Right.
It's not like I have a ton of stuff on my charts. Okay, cool. You
don't run the desktop version of TradingView. You use the browser one. Have you ever tried the desktop version?
Yes, years ago. Maybe I should give it a try again. I don't know why or how it would improve my performance, though. It's still a browser. It's just the Electron browser.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be better performance.
It's still it's still a web app. It's just compiled into an app called Electron.
Right.
Well, that looks pretty bullish.
It certainly does.
All right, 343 left on this current 5-minute candle, and my automated strategy is likely to take a long in gold and a long in MES. And I think I'll probably just walk away at that point. And I got meetings coming up anyway. For those listening, we are in the process of integrating Webull. That should be going live soon. And we're integrating with crypto.com. That'll be an exciting one. We've got a close partnership with crypto.com. Kind of feel like a Formula One racer. At some point here, I'd like a crypto.com shirt and the hat and, you know, a uniform and something Formula One related as well, since I'm a big F1 fan. I'll talk to them about it.
Tradovate too is being integrated, right?
Well, we're doing the Project X integration for Tradovate. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So now you'll be able to use Tradovate or Project X for Tradovate. That's all coming down the pipeline here. Exciting times. We got a lot of stuff moving here.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, this feels like it could be a long. Why don't we wait the 2:35 and I'll show my automated strategies taking a trade here. I'm going to turn them back on. Make sure that's running. In 2:24, both of these should trigger a trade for both gold and MES. And I can show you the incoming signals for those. In the meantime here, let me just show you the signals for the scalping trades we took today. One at, looks like, no, we had more than that. 918 for today. Okay, there we go. So I took 3 so far, 100% win rate on all of them. And you can see when the signal comes in, it included that take profit instruction as well as a stop loss instruction. So that's what got executed with Tradovate. Now Tradovate supports bracket orders, so that allows me to do this. But I sent the line alert with the quantity I want to trade at the price that it got triggered at. And you can see that I sent a price of 24,677.75 and where the line alert was triggered, and actually got filled at a price $2.75 better. So positive slippage on both of these. And then both of these were successful trades on 2 different prop firms.
Aventura says exciting stuff, but don't forget about dark mode for iOS.
Man, it's crazy how much people really, really want that dark mode. I think we're only off by a couple things there, Tom. You were helping on that project, weren't you?
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely. I just find it very funny because it's like John will be there working on some deep feature and analytics and all, and people are like, okay, but dark mode though?
Yeah, dark mode though. Win dark mode though. All right, we got you. We'll make sure you guys are covered on dark mode. It is annoying to look at a very bright screen when you're watching your automated strategies in the middle of the night. You know, you get an alert, something goes off on TradingView. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't want a bright TradersPost screen. You want the dark mode one. I totally get it. All right, here we go.
Well,
31 seconds.
It reversed the entire day. Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
Aventura says, my woman is getting mad at me. See, we're causing strain in relationships. We need this dark mode immediately. All right, 4 seconds. That should trigger both the long on MES. There it is. And you can see that showing up. There's already open P&L on that. And then a long on MGC. That one turned against me almost right away. Now, both of those have a stop loss instruction that was tied to them. So let me head to the strategies and show you what I mean. We'll take a look at the signal. And here's the gold strategy, which included a stop loss of 15 points. And you can see I have an open stop market sell with Tradovate on that incoming order. Looks like I had slippage of 20 cents on that one. And then on the MES order, I have a stop loss order set at 30 points below my entry. And I had about 25 cents of slippage on that. So those 2 trades now are going to run on an automated basis for this strategy, just with Tradovate, because Tradovate allows you to run automated strategies, but the automated strategy has to be exclusive to Tradovate. So I can only run it on my Tradovate accounts. So this essentially will just remain long above VWAP for the remainder of their session and try to close by the end of the day. But that stop may be triggered first. So it just depends on what gets there first. Either it's the close of the day and I close in profit, or maybe break even, or maybe at a small loss. Otherwise, I have a fixed risk tied to it with that stop loss.
Nice.
Cool. Well, I think that pretty much wraps me up. Maybe the big takeaway here is negative RR worked out really well. We're up 390 on NQ. The micro scalps didn't work so well today, and then we got 2 automated strategies going, but negative RR for the win.
Got a message Ike on Twitter.
Yeah,
say
thanks,
hey.
Bud. Appreciate the feedback. It was Zach Anthony as well. We just went live with our interview with Zach Anthony. He has the same approach. I've spoken to Randy Baines on this. He says it's also profitable for him. So it does seem like it's a little bit more of an effective strategy for a lot of the traders in the space. I'm going to keep giving it a try. I will look for reversals, and I'll look for momentum from consolidation, and essentially just put on a quick 5-point scalp and pray for the best. Cross my fingers, if you will.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more trading. And until then, we wish you, as always, happy trading.
Cheers, everyone.